as you were at the top of the table over in League One, with Wrexham still chasing Wycombe, who are remaining tip at the top of the table. But what about the Brummies? Can they maintain their push for the title? Well, they're only a couple points back. We'll take a look at that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again in another prediction video. Today is all about match number 20 in League One, and we'll get to it in a second. If you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe button when we're on Stop Shop for League One, Blackpool Rovers, World Football. We're going to all hear under one rooski. It is a little spicy at the tip of the top of the table. Right now, it is a 3-horse race for 2 spots. But keep an eye on Huddersfield Town. They have got a act together right here, right now, and look destined to get involved in that title race at some part of the season. But we'll take a look at it, all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to the members. You know who you are. And a big shout out to the Patreons. You know who you are. You want Stop Shop for League One is right here. So let's, of course, recap the last round of games and, of course, bring it bang up to date with the Prediction League. And then, of course, look forward to the next round of games. So sit tight, hold on, because away we go. Alrighty then, folks, let's take a look back at those last round of games. Of course, disturbed by the weather. A handful of games not taking place, but Lincoln against Charlton did, and that ended up all square 0-0 in the end. Wigan also losing at home to Leyton. Orient. Barnsley made a good game of it against Birmingham, but lost 2-1 as predicted. Blackpool against Rotherham, that will of course go again another day, as will Bristol Rovers against Bolton. Meanwhile, Burton, they did lose to Wrexham, only 1-0. Meanwhile, Cambridge put 4 past Shrewsbury, to showcase you what it's all about down the foot of the table right there. Meanwhile, Crawley against Stevenage, that of course will go again another day. Mansfield against Huddersfield Town, 2-1 win for the away side there against my better judgment. Stockport County with a 2-0 win over Exeter. Wycombe could only draw against Noel Hunt's Reading, and Northampton Town, surprise, surprise, new John Brady-less picking up a 2-1 win over Peterborough to start maybe a reboot for their season. Now, of course, this is the table as it stands. Yes, it is. Actually, Wycombe and Wrexham are level on points with 40. Birmingham are one adrift, but they do have 1 game in hand on Wycombe, 2 games in hand on Wrexham. So realistically, they should be closing in on them. Meanwhile, Huddersfield do have a game also in hand over Wrexham as well. Going down, it is Shrewsbury, Burton, Cambridge and Crawley. Yeah, it's tight. You can't rule out Rotherham, Wigan, Bristol Rovers, Northampton Town, Leyton, Orient, even Peterborough at the moment to getting sucked into that relegation mire. The rest of the playoffs is hot to trot as well, with Barnsley on the outside looking in, as are Bolton, Lincoln City as well. So probably mid-pack is Mansfield all the way down to Stevenage. Those guys have got nothing to play for at the moment. But again, this is the time of the season where you can get your season back on track, or at least will maybe destroy your hopes and dreams. Anyway, the hopes and dreams of these guys are well on track as well. As you see it, Andy Speak is top of the pops there with 95 points with our updated Prediction League. Case Giffgaff, Hot Pursuit with 90, Bristol Hinterland with 82. That's, of course, the status according to my calculations. But anyway, of course, those games will keep on going. Of course, their predictions a long way to go. I don't even know if we've reached halfway yet of the season. But hey, what we might do is reset the blocks, reset the clocks to have a second half of the season Prediction League update and have a total bubbling on in the background. We'll talk about that another time. But anyway, these are the next round of games, and there are some stellar ones as well coming at you this coming weekend. So we're going to start with a Northwest Crunch Clash. Bit of a derby, this one. It's Bolton up against Wigan coming at you over at whatever they call it, the Reebok, whatever it is these days. It's Bolton under Ian Everett, 58% form for them right now. They sit 7th in the table with 30 points for the campaign, unbeaten in the last 4 matches. Wigan under Sean Malone, they are all the way down to 19th right now, 20 points for the campaign, but back-to-back defeats. Played each other 29 times since 2005. 7 wins Bolton, 12 wins Wigan, 10 draws between the two sides. The last 6 games between these two sides have gone on in favour pretty much of Wigan. They've won 5 of them and just drawn the once. So Wigan have the mentals for this game. But they're coming in just on the back of that loss against Leyton Orient. In fact, back-to-back losses and back-to-back goalless affairs for Wigan. Bolton on the flip side have got the form with them, beating Mansfield, drawn with Cambridge, and also beating another Northwest rival, Blackpool. So maybe this, of course, will be the turning of the tide for them in recent form. 10-7 on is your Bolton, 29-10 is your draw, 54 is the away win. I'm going to go with a Bolton here to reset the blocks, reset the clocks on that good streak that Wigan has over them. Meanwhile, we'll go to Brisbane Road. It's Leyton Orient up against Burton Albion coming at you this coming Saturday, the 14th of December. Leyton Orient under Richie Wellens cooking right now. 16th of the table, 21 points for the campaign, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Burton under Tom Housel, 2 wins in the last 6, but they are 23rd with just 11 points all season long. Now, these two clubs have only played each other twice since 2023. 1 win for Burton, nothing for Leyton Orient. There's been 1 draw draw between the two sides. That was, of course, back in the 23-24 season. And Burton picking up that victory over Leyton Orient just last year at this very venue. The Orient, though, on the back of successive wins, of course, in the league, back-to-back clean sheets as well, beating Bristol, Rovers and Wigan. Burton, though, on the back of a loss against Wrexham most recently, but have been a more stern opposition under the new regime. 5-3 on is your Leyton Orient, 31-10 is your draw, 17-4 is your away win. Going to go with a 1-0 win here for the Orient. Not pretty, not fantastic, but just enough to keep that bandwagon moving. Meanwhile, Birmingham take on Bristol Rovers, coming over at St Andrews. That's right, Chris Davies' boys are sitting in third in the table, 4 wins on the bounce, 39 points for the campaign, up against Bristol Rovers under Matthew Taylor, 18th for the table, 21 points for the campaign. They're on 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn 2 over the last 6. Now, these two clubs have played each other just 3 times since 2014. It's been 3 wins out of 3. For the Brummies, that's right. One of those games was a friendly. The other 2 were in the EFL Cup. And the one and only game played at this very venue was a 3-0 win for Birmingham back in January 2014. Birmingham are on the back of good wins, good streak right now. 4 wins on the bounce, beating Exeter, Blackpool in the Cup, Stockport, and now Barnsley. A couple of sticky, tricky wickets there. Bristol Rovers, though, on the back of that heavy loss to Leyton Orient. The odds, though, 100 to 100. 27 on for Birmingham. Red hot favourites, 19-4 with the draw, 70-2, away win. Birmingham will win this one comfortably. Going to go with another 3-0 win. And that, of course, will put the heat on the top 2. Meanwhile, Charlton up against Mansfield, 2 mid-table sides at the moment need to get the act back on track. Charlton under Nathan Jones, 12th in the table, 23 points for the campaign. Just 1 defeat, though, in the last 4 matches. Up against Mansfield, 5 defeats the last 6, 17% form. Reality bites right now for the Stags, sitting in 10th in the table, though. 24 points for the campaign. Played each other twice. So 2018, one for Charlton, one for Mansfield. Both those games coming in the Cup. The last time they played at this venue was a 5-0 win for Charlton back in November 2018. Charlton, though, on the back of that 0-0 draw against Lincoln. Mansfield losing to Huddersfield just the other night. The odds here for this one, even Stevens is your Charlton, 5-2 is your Mansfield, 13-5 is the draw. Going to go with a 2-1 win Charlton here. They need the win if they're going to salvage their season, because currently they're in mid-table land and not much going on for them at the moment. Meanwhile, Exeter against Barnsley, both sides in that playoff talk. Exeter got more work to do, though, than Barnsley, but both sides coming into this in pretty woeful form. Exeter, 11th in the table, 24 points for the campaign, just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Barnsley, winless in the last 6, 70% form. They are 8th with 27 points for the campaign. Played each other 4 times since 2022. 3 wins Exeter, 1 win Barnsley. No draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue was a 1-0 win for Barnsley. That was back in October 2023. Exeter losing to Stockport most recently. Barnsley losing to the Brummies. The odds here for this one, 21-10 is your Exeter. 23-20, yeah, Barnsley, 13-5 is the draw. Barnsley have been woeful of late. They need to get some sort of result here, but Exeter haven't been the better either. I think there's more fight, I think, in Barnsley left in the tank. They'll get something out of this. I'm going to go with the 3 points, 2-1 winners, Barnsley on the road. Meanwhile, hot to shot, Huddersfield Town up against Lincoln City, coming at you over at the McAlpine Stadium. Huddersfield under Michael Duff, 92% form for them right now. They are the form team in the division, sitting in 4th in the table, 35 points for the campaign, 5 wins on the bounce. Up against Lincoln under Michael Skubula, they are 9th in the table, 27 points for the campaign. Just 1 win, though, in the last 6 games. Played each other 5 times in 2003, 2 wins apiece. 1 draw between the two sides. The last time they played competitively at this venue was a 2-2 draw back in May 2004. It was in the League 2 playoffs. Goodness gracious me. That was in the league. Last time they played each other at this venue, whenever. That was in the EFL Cup back in August 2019. It was a 1-0 win for Lincoln. Huddersfield on the back of the 2-1 win over Mansfield. Lincoln only drawing with Charlton most recently. 6-5 on is your Huddersfield, 27-10 is the draw, 16-5 is your Lincoln. You're going to go with a 2-0 win, Huddersfield Town, taking the points and keeping the heat with the top 2. That's right. Peterborough, they're having a bit of a woeful season up against a Crawley Town with a bit of fight. That's right. Peterborough with Darren Ferguson at the helm, 15th for the table, 50% form for them right now. 1-3 and lost 3 over the last 6, but they've only lost 3 in the last 4. Goodness gracious me. Up against Crawley under Rob Elliott, 50% form for them also. 1-2 lost 2 and drawn 2 over the last 6. They are 21st with 19 points for the campaign. Now, these two clubs have played each other just 7 times since 2011. 5 wins for the Posh, 2 wins for Crawley. No draws between the two sides. The last time they played in the league at this venue was a 7-goal thriller. 4-3 it was for Peterborough back in April 2015. The Posh, though, on the back of that 2-1 loss to Northampton Town, back-to-back surprise losses, losing to Burton and Northampton, who were both struggling. Meanwhile, Crawley on the back of a big win over Charlton this past week. So to give themselves big old 3-pointers there. The odds here, 7-4 on is your Peterborough, 16-5 is the draw, 17-4 your Crawley. The Posh need to win this one. I don't know if they got it in their locker, but I'm giving it to them anyway. 3-1 win in their own backyard. They need to bounce back and fast. Meanwhile, Reading under Neil Hunt up against Blackpool under Stevie Bruce. That's right. Did he manage his old protege there? Let me know down below. But anyway, Reading, of course, under Noel Hunt are in 6th in the table. They're in the playoff talk right now. 31 points for the campaign. They're unbeaten in the last 7, winning 4 and drawing 2 at the last 6. Blackpool under Stevie Bruce, they're fighting right now. 58% form for them right now, sitting in 13th with 23 points for the campaign. They played each other 18 times in 2008. 8 wins Reading, 7 wins Blackpool, 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at the Mansfield, it was a 3-2 win for Reading back in April 2024. Reading picking up that point at Wycombe this past weekend. It's a solid point when you think about it. Meanwhile, Blackpool with a 2-1 win over Shrewsbury. They needed that to get themselves also on the move. The odds here for this one, we're looking at Blackpool 90 to 10 is your Blackpool, 30 to 10 is your Reading, 5 to 2 is the draw. Tricky one, this one. I don't know. I don't know about Hunt as coach yet. I know he got a point against Wycombe, but will he get one over Stevie Bruce? Not too sure just yet because he's an old school manager. He knows how to work the game there. So I'm going to make it a difficult one regardless. Meanwhile, Rotherham up against Northampton Town coming to the New York Stadium. That's right. Rotherham under Steve Evans. They're in a bit of trouble right now. 20th in the table, 20 points for the campaign. 50% forward for them right now. 1-3 and lost 3 over the last 6 up against Northampton Town. Currently under the managerialship of Ian Sampson, who might be caretaker there. Of course, coming into on the back of a win. They are 17th with 21 points for the campaign. Now they've played each other 14 times since 2004. 4 wins Rotherham, 5 Northampton, 5 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue was a 1-0 win for Rotherham back in September 2017. It's actually been back-to-back wins at this venue for Rotherham against Northampton Town. They're coming into also on the back of that win over Lincoln. Northampton, of course, matching them with a win over Peterborough. The odds, though, for this one, 20-13 on is your Rotherham, 50-4 is your Northampton, 3-1 is the draw. I think I am going to go with Steve Evans on this one to get the 2-1 win. A new manager bounce is needed. They might make it tricky. It might make it another draw out of it, but realistically, away from home, it's going to be tough for Northampton to win this one. Meanwhile, Gareth Ainsworth's Shrewsbury up against Gareth Ainsworth's old boys, Wycombe. That's right. What a game this is going to be. Gareth Ainsworth's Shrewsbury are rock bottom, though, 11 points for the campaign. Just 1 win in 6, 17% form for them right now. Up against Wycombe and Matt Bloomfield, his protege. 83% form for them right now. They are, of course, unbeaten in at least the last 6, and they're top of the table with 40 points. Now, they played each other 24 times since 2004. 5 wins Shrews, 9 wins Wycombe, 10 draws as well. Last time I played at this venue, it was a 2-0 win for Wycombe back in April 2024. The Shrews, though, losing heavily to Cambridge most recently. Meanwhile, Wycombe with a 1-1 draw against Reading, back-to-back draws for Wycombe at the moment. The odds here for this one, 4-1 is your Shrews, 27-10 is the draw, 10-7 on is your Wycombe. They're flying high. Ooh, yeah, I'd love to see Gareth Ainsworth get the better of his old club there, but I'm going to go 2-0 win for the High Flyers. Wycombe on this one. Into the final 2 is the Battle of the S's. Stevenage up against Stockport coming at you over at Stevenage. Alex Revels. Boys are 14th for the table, 22 points for the campaign. 50% form for them right now. 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. Stockport under Dave Chandler, and they're on 67% form. 5th in the table, 33 points for the campaign, and have won 4 of the last 5. Now, they played each other 5 times since 2003. 3 wins Stevenage, 1 win Stockport, 1 draw between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue was back in August 2022 in League 2. Stevenage coming out on top with a 2-1 win. Speaking of wins, Stevenage did beat Northampton Town last time that they played back on the 3rd of December. Stockport also picked up a win against Exeter just the other day. The odds here, 2-1 is your Stevenage, 27-20. Your Stockport, 23-10 is the draw. Stockport winning this one, in my eyes, 2-0 winners. They've got to keep the heat for their race for promotion. And speaking of promotion, it is Wrexham, Blackpool FC up against Cambridge United, Gary Monk FC. Played each other 15 times in 2003, 7 wins Wrexham, 2 Cambridge, 6 draws between the two sides. Wrexham, though, 4 wins on the bounce, 2nd in the table, 40 points for the campaign. Up against Cambridge, just 1 win in the last 6, however, 2 defeats in the last 6 as well. 22nd in the table, 16 points for the campaign. And of course, the last time they went to Wales, it was a 1-1 draw back in September 2013. Goodness gracious me. Wrexham, though, are unbeaten against Cambridge over the last 6, 3 wins and 3 draws, and they're coming into this on the back of successive 1-0 wins, 3 1-0 wins on the spin, but 4 clean sheets on the spin for Wrexham as they try to make it a 5th one in a row. Meanwhile, Cambridge, a big win for them over Shrewsbury last time around. The odds, though, for this, 5-3 on is your Wrexham, 17-4 is your Cambridge, 16-5 is the draw. Wrexham should win this one, unfortunately. Sorry, Gary Monk. 3-1 win in the end. Give them the 3 points. And, of course, keep the heat at the top of the table. That's, of course, my predictions. There's the link for yours if you want to get involved. And, of course, we'll see you next time around when we come back for some more action. But that's it. Subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. But until then, we're done.